At that time, there came to the Blessed One the king of the Nagas, called Krishna Pakashaka, who assumed the body of a Brahmin, and said thus, Gautama, is there not another world? Now, young man, whence do you come? Gautama, I am come from the White Isle. Brahmin, that is another world. The young man thus refuted and put to silence made himself invisible without asking me anything about my own teaching, which stands in opposition to his. He thought within himself, this son of the Sakyas stands outside of my own system. He is a pitiable fellow. He belongs to the school which holds the cessation of signs and causes. He talks of the cessation of discrimination, which will take place when there is a cognition of an external world as something seen of one's own discrimination. And, Mahamati, you too ask me how, for one who serves the Lokayatika, skilled in various incantations and in the art of eloquence, there are worldly enjoyments and not the attainment of the Dharma. Said Mahamati, what is meant, Blessed One, by the words, the objects of worldly enjoyment, and the Dharma? Said the Blessed One, well said, Mahamati. You have thought deeply about this twofold meaning, having in view present and future generations. Then, Mahamati, listen well and reflect within yourself. I will tell you. Certainly, Blessed One, said Mahamati the Bodhisattva Mahasattva, and gave ear to the Blessed One. The Blessed One said this to him, what is meant by a worldly object of enjoyment, Mahamati? It means that which can be touched, attracted by, wiped off, handled, and tasted. It is that which makes one get attached to an external world, enter into a dualism on account of a wrong view, and appear again in the skandhas, where, owing to the procreative force of desire, there arise all kinds of disaster, such as birth, age, disease, death, sorrow, lamentation, pain, despair, etc. This is called the object of worldly enjoyment by myself and other Buddhas. This, Mahamati, is the attainment of worldly enjoyments, and not that of the truth. It is materialism, which one learns by serving the Lokayatika. Mahamati, what is meant by the attainment of the Dharma, or truth? When the truth of self-mind and the twofold egolessness are understood, and further, when the nature of the egolessness of things and persons is seen into, discrimination ceases to assert itself. When the various stages of bodhisattvahood are thoroughly perceived one after another, the citta, manas, and manovijnana are turned away. And when one enters upon the path of baptism by the wisdom of all the Buddhas and takes hold of the 10 inexhaustible vows, one becomes sovereign master of all things by virtue of a life of effortlessness. Hence it is called the Dharma, as one is thereby released from all philosophical views, unsound reasonings, discriminations, and dualistic notions. As a rule, Mahamati, the philosophical views lead the ignorant, though not the wise, to a dualism, that is, to nihilism and eternalism. Eternalism rises from embracing a doctrine of no causation, while nihilism rises from believing in the annihilation of causal conditions and in the non-existence of a cause. I teach, however, the Dharma so-called, which is subject to the conditions of rising, abiding, and destruction. This, Mahamati, is the conclusion with regard to worldly enjoyment and the Dharma. So it is said, beings are subdued by the reception and are brought into subjection by the moral precepts, or sila. They are removed from philosophical views by transcendental knowledge, or prajna, and are nourished by the emancipations. All that is taught by the philosophers to no purpose is materialism. Where the realistic view of cause and effect is cherished, there is no self-realization. I teach to my group of disciples one self-realization which has nothing to do with causes and effect, being free from materialism. There is nothing but that which is seen of the mind itself. The duality, too, is of the mind. While existence is observed and divided into the grasp and grasping, it has nothing to do with eternalism or nihilism. As long as mentation goes on, there is materialism. When there is no rising of discrimination, the world is seen as of mind itself. Coming means the originating of the objective world as effect, and going is the not seeing of the effect. When one thoroughly understands the coming and going, discrimination ceases. Eternity and non-eternity, the made and not made, this world and that world, all these and other ideas belong to materialism.